Well, Trump and his puppets think that Trump is beyond the Constitution and has every right to run for a third term as I fix the camera here. There we go. So, what am I going on about? Well, as we all know, Trump pretty much thinks he's a dictator and is all high and mighty and everyone has to listen to him. But I'm fixing the camera again. There we go. But no, that's not the case at all. That's not how the president role works. You can't just do whatever you want. Well, Bannon told Kumo that, yeah, no, Trump will run for a third term and he will win. No, that's not constitutionally possible. As always, we got an article from the Hill.com that is going to give us a little bit more context and info on this fucking matter, which I think we already know what's going on here. This is going on right here. That's what's going on. And I've even said this before. Trump will do anything to uphold those words. He'll do anything he can to get full control of this country. And that's what he's doing. He's a dictator. Article reads, former White House strategist Steve Bannon leaned into President Trump's aspirations for a third term, suggesting Trump will run and win in 2028 while denying his own presidential ambitions. I'm a firm believer that President Trump will run and win again in 2028, so I've already endorsed President Trump, which you just wasted money there, bud. Again, that's constitutionally not possible. He's served his 2 terms. That's it. Well, he's currently serving his 2nd term now, but Bannon told News Nation's Chris Cuomo, a man like this comes along once in every century. If we're lucky, we've got him now. No. No, we're not lucky to have a man who, again, is trying to openly destroy our Constitution. Oh, yeah, I have it on this screen as well. You remember when he said this? And I'm going to keep bringing that up. Like I said, this is his attempt at that right there. The man clearly said right here that he wants to terminate the Constitution. And well, now he's going after the 22nd Amendment. Again, per the 22nd Amendment, it only limits presidents to 2 terms. Article goes on to read here, he's on fire and I'm a huge supporter. Want to see him again in 2028. He added in an appearance on Kumo. I don't know why I did that. Trump has floated the idea of running for a 3rd presidential term a number of times, despite it being unconstitutional with the 22nd Amendment, which limits politicians to 2 presidential terms. It's literally written in the country's constitution. Like, come on. Like, it is literally written in our country's constitution that Trump swore to uphold, that a president only has 2 terms. No matter if their 2 terms are 3, 4 other presidents apart. You know? 2 terms, no matter what. That's it. That's all you get. And the reason why Trump wants a 3rd term is because there's still a lot more that he knows he does not have time to get done. There's still a lot of things from his 1st term that he still has not got done that he would like to get done. Again, the man is a dictator. The man wants to take over the country and have it ruled under Trump's fucking command. Like, there's no other words to say. That's exactly what he wants. And that's exactly what he's attempting to get. The man will do anything to get his way. Whether it means attempting to, I don't know, fix the camera properly. There we go. I'm keeping all that in. Whether it means going around the government, going around anyone, doing anything he wants. Even go around the Constitution. He doesn't care about that, you know? He claims to care about your First Amendment rights, your second, third, fourth, fifth. He claims to care about the Constitution in general, but in reality, he really doesn't. Again, the man attempted to go after the First Amendment. He then also attempted to go after the 14th Amendment. And now he's attempting to go after the 22nd Amendment. That was 3 different fucking amendments the man tried to take down. What other one is he going to take down? Eventually, next thing you know, it's going to be your Second Amendment rights, you know. And I'm pretty sure that's an amendment Republicans hold near and dear to their hearts, is the Second Amendment. They love that. Newsflash, people. The person you fucking elected that you thought would protect your Second Amendment rights is slowly trying to dismantle your constitutional rights right before your eyes. Again, he tried to get rid of the First Amendment. He tried to get rid of the 14th, and now he's trying to get rid of the 22nd. Not that hard to see, people. Like, come on. It's not that hard to see. Article goes on to read here. He most recently teased a run last week during a White House St. Patrick's Day event alongside Irish Taoiseach Michael Martin. I probably butchered that. Mr. Martin. I'm going to call him Mr. Martin because Taoiseach, probably am butchering that, and I don't want to disrespect anyone by butchering that. So I'm just going to call him Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin, I want to just thank you once again for being here, and it's an honor, and hopefully we are going to be doing this at least 3 more times, okay? Trump said at the time, we're going to be doing this 3 more times at least. No, we're not. When I say at least, they go absolutely crazy. The president. Referring to the news media, so thank you very much for being here. Yeah. Of course people go crazy when they hear a president openly want to attack the Constitution. You know? There we go. But the article goes on to read here as Mosh turns his fan on. When Cuomo asked Bannon, who has not fully ruled out his own 2028 White House bid, how he plans to secure another term for Trump, the former strategist said, "The wheels are already in motion." Okay, so what's that mean, though? We're working on it. I think we'll have it. I think we'll have a couple of alternatives. What's that? Attempting to dismantle the 22nd Amendment? Because, again, in order for Trump to have a third term, he would have to get rid of the 22nd Amendment. That's the only way you would get a third term. And last time I checked, that would be violating and fucking around with the Constitution. Something Trump supporters, well, I guess we can say they don't really care about the Constitution anymore if they're electing a man who is doing shit like this, you know, openly going after the First Amendment, the 14th, and now the 22nd. Oh, we're working our way to the second, people. We're working our way to the second. He's already touched the first, and that's a big one. Article goes on to read, we're working on it, and I think we'll have it. I think we'll have a couple of alternatives, he said Tuesday. Let's say that. We'll see what the definition of the term limit is. It's pretty simple. It's a limit on how many terms that presidents can run, which the 22nd Amendment states that a president can only run 2 terms. Like, come on, people. If this isn't proof that Trump is a fucking dictator and not a president, and if this isn't proof that Trump does not care about democracy, then I do not know what does. And I do not know what is. What? Article goes on to read, Bannon also suggested that after Trump's defeat in 2020 and the 2020 election to former President Biden, Trump had to make the longest of long shots to return to the Oval Office in 2024. But he cleared it. Yeah, thanks to Elon rigging the fucking election. And I mean, come on. That's pretty clear. Winning the GOP presidential primary and ultimately beating the former Vice President Kamala Harris in November. But did he really? More like Elon Musk bought the votes, but okay. Let's just ignore the fact that Elon was out there paying people, pretty much saying, hey, if you prove to me that you vote for Trump, I'll pay you money, you know? Article reads, and we had to get organized and drive that victory and also start working on all the policies, which by the looks of it, you've worked on none. What's called Project 2025 or the America First Policy Institute, but all those different think tanks that started putting in the policies that you're seeing today in what we call the flood the zone. I cannot read. Or Days of Thunder, however you want to describe it, Bannon said. But this is many years in the making. So we've had greater long shots than Trump 2028. And we've got a lot of stuff we're working on there, he added. We're not prepared to talk about the publicity, but in a couple of months, I think we will be. Yeah, because you don't have anything right now. I'd love to see what you have in a couple of months. Oh, but here we go. Here we go. In January, Representative Andy Ogles, however the fuck you say his name, I'm not even going to bother to pronounce it right, proposed an amendment to the Constitution that would permit Trump to serve a third term in the White House. So now we're trying to alter the Constitution? Get this shit, though. Get this shit. If this was a Democrat, right? Or if this was Joe Biden, conservatives, Republican media and all that would be up in fucking arms right now. They would be all over this shit, right? But since it's Trump, since it's a Republican, it's fine. It's okay. It's no big deal. You know, who cares if they're openly trying to modify and, eliminate things in the Constitution? Who cares if they're actively attacking American citizens' constitutional rights? And that don't matter. Who cares? Right? That's the Republican mindset because it's Trump. But again, if it was Biden, it would be a so completely different thing. It would be a very different, complete thing. Okay? So come on. Let's get our heads out of our asses here, ladies and gents. Article goes on to read, no person shall be elected to the office of president more than 3 times, nor be elected to any additional term after being elected to 2 consecutive terms. No, people should just be elected to 2 terms and that's it. That's it. But no, because we want to serve to our dictator. Yeah, and then get this shit. That amendment immediately gets violated and thrown out the window, and then they push for a fucking 4th term. And then once that 4th term's up, they violate the Constitution even further to get a 5th term. Come on, people. Wake the fuck up. That's all this is gonna be. You know? Article goes on to read, Ogles said that at the time that Trump has proven himself to be the only figure in modern history. Yeah, no, it's no. No. If anything, he's more like causing our nation's decay and, well, causing America to go to shitness, you know? And he must be given the time necessary to accomplish. There it is. There it the fuck is. There it the fuck is. There it the fuck is. Did I not fucking say earlier in the video that Trump knows he's running out of time and there's still so much more that he wants to do? So he's trying to buy more time. And Bannon right there literally just fucking admitted it. Trump's just trying to buy more time to further the destruction on America. That's it. All right? That's it. And anyone with a brain would know that this is what the man is doing. This is something a fucking dictator would do. Article goes on to read, some of the president's supporters were also seen wearing Trump 2028 stickers at last month's Conservative Political Action Conference. Democrats on Capitol Hill have strongly rebuked the possibility. Representative Dan Goldman, Democrat out of New February, put out a resolution in February retreating. Okay, I read that right. Mosh can't read. February retreating the lower chamber's support for the 22nd Amendment. Democrats finally doing something for once, I'm going to say it. Resolved that the White House, I can read. Resolved that the House of Representatives reaffirms that their 20 fucking A. Hold on. Fuck. All right, let's try this again. Article goes on to read, Representative Dan Goldman put out a resolution in February retreating the lower chamber's support for the 22nd Amendment, resolved that the House of Representatives reaffirms that the 22nd Amendment applies to 2 terms in aggregate as President of the United States, and reaffirms that the 22nd Amendment prohibits President Trump from running for president for another term. It reads, a YouGov poll released late last month found that 50%. Fucking A, bro. Hold on. Fucking A. Thank God it's getting close to the end of this video. Mosh is running out of gas here, man. And the article just fucking refreshed. Gotta love it. Fuck out of here. I'm leaving this in. But the article goes on to read, a YouGov poll released late last month found that 52% of Americans think Trump will attempt to remain in the White House. When asked about it, 21% said definitely, another 31% said probably. At least we got people with a brain. Fuck. But there it is, ladies and gents. You know, that this is what we're in for. Again, to the people who voted for him, this is what you voted for. Again, the man is actively going after the 22nd Amendment right now. And what people don't realize is that in order for Trump to get a 3rd term, the 22nd Amendment would either have to be abolished or modified, which they're trying to do right now, which that is a clear modification to the United States Constitution, which last time I checked, that's not upholding it. That's modifying it to your liking. It's clear that Trump does not want to uphold the Constitution. It's clear that he does not give a flying fuck about the Constitution. And it's clear, as stated right here, that he wants to get rid of the Constitution. Here, let me read that last part for you again. So, you know, to all the Trump tards out there saying, oh, that's just sarcasm. No. Here, a massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. Let me read that last part again. Even those found in the Constitution. To all the Trump tards saying that that was sarcasm, we now have proof to back that. I'm keeping that in. I almost punched the fuck out of my monitor. Fucking beating up my monitor here. But no, as I was saying before, I almost costed myself near $300 because the monitor next to me is almost $300 fucking dollars. Sheesh. But as I was saying, this is basically proof of Trump trying to live up to these words right here. Even those found in the Constitution, the man is actively, as we speak, living up to those words. He already openly attempted to terminate the 14th Amendment. He already went after the First Amendment, and now he's trying to go after the 22nd Amendment. There is now proof behind this, okay? Trump tards can no longer throw out the, oh, but that's just sarcasm argument. There's literal proof now. Right there. And this is proof as well. Man, again, is trying to run for a 3rd term, which is against the 22nd Amendment. He can't do that. That is unconstitutionally unacceptable, I guess you can say. I was trying to think of something else, but Mosh is running out of gas here. Hey, it's just, I don't know. It's like the fact that people are this fucking blind and even hypocritical is just sad. You know? The man is, again, living up to these words right here. Like, come on. This is a clear attack on the 22nd Amendment. Trump tards, I'd like you to explain to me in the comments how this is not. I'd like you to explain to me in the comments how none of this is unconstitutional. How none of this goes against the Second Amendment. I'll be sitting here waiting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry I was all over the place. But fuck. Butt fuck. That's literally what is happening. We are being butt fucked by this orange fuck. But anyways, ladies, gents, boys, and girls, make sure you subscribe to the streaming channel, Boston3233. Join the Discord in the link down below. And fuck yeah, man. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace!